So, I mean, I guess now that we've talked about, the good and bad, let's talk about what is something that's been different with modern day storytelling. I think for this one, we might actually try to look maybe a little outside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know that you've got one example for it, but there's another movie that you talked about that was confusing to a lot of people until you provide the context of it. All right. So,
Oh
what is
well,
your one? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, yeah. Well, some years ago, a movie came out, 47 Ronin. Keanu
Hmm.
Reeves was the big Hollywood star in it, but it
Right.
was it was actually quite um, almost the entire cast except for Keanu Reeves' character was Asian American or Japanese American,
Okay.
or just Japanese, and has done and have done really well in Hollywood. Like our hero, the main character. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's been in a ton of stuff for a number of years, and I've watched him, and he's quite good.
Okay.
Um, and the movie is littered with, well, it's definitely a more drama, like fiction, fantasized version of the story of the 47 Ronin, which
Okay.
Google it. I'm not going to go into the long history of it,
All right.
but because the movie was full of just Cube, Tengu, Japanese, just a lot of Japanese folklore,
Okay.
from spirits and demons and things of that nature.
Okay.
And I remember talking to him. I was like, "Oh, that was really good." I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that was pretty good." And he was like, "What?"
Okay.
He's like, "I didn't get it." And I was like,
Okay.
"What didn't you get?" Well, spoiler alert.
Go
It
on.
ends with the 47 Ronin committing suicide. Oh,
Okay.
that's so dark. But they're samurais. That's
Right.
actually a happy ending because they were denied that right because they had defied the emperor, and they
Okay.
went on this long quest for honor, um, to honor their lord and to rat and to out a villain, and they
Okay.
did. And the emperor was like, "We're in debt to you for this, and you defied the emperor's law, so you get to commit sabuku or
Okay.
harikari, whatever way you want to call it, or depends on writing and everything else. But anyway,
Okay.
um, and they're like, "This is great. We get to we get to we get to we get to have honorable death in front of the emperor. This is awesome."
Right.
And it's like, huh? And the guy was talking was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." Oh, you don't know anything about samurai or Japanese culture to really grasp that this was actually you
The
got
best
lost in everything
outcome.
else. It's
Right.
like, well, Keanu Reeves was like disappearing and flying all over the place. It's like, yeah, because he was an orphan who became a slave, and he was an orphan of Dutch settlers, and he was taken in, yeah, by those guys with like weird bird faces, and it didn't make any sense. It's like they had bird faces because they were Tengu, they were crow demons, they were
Okay.
ninja. Although he was a
Uh,
ninja, he learned ninjutsu, but the legend of ninjutsu.
okay. Right.
But all those things were put there and kind of subtly kind of brought there like, oh, you should already know. And
Okay.
and some people just
Didn't
didn't get
translate.
it.
Okay.
you know I've heard commentary about things like, just speaking in terms of the samurai
Yeah.
storytelling, how's Tom Cruise the last samurai? Watch the movie again. He's not the last samurai. He's us. He's the
Huh.
audience. He's an American
Okay.
who views warfare and everything else, and he views war and civilization through American eyes. So he's a Civil War time soldier who's dealt in the massacre of natives, of indigenous people, and everything else. So he has a different view on
You. Okay.
warfare and violence. And because he's American, the character's American. He's
Okay.
us, the audience. And
Okay.
if you watch the movie, it's him journaling and experiencing and learning and developing in this foreign culture he doesn't understand. His character is there to explain it to us,
Okay.
just in case it doesn't make sense to us.
Ah. Okay. So who is the
And
last? So who then is the last samurai in that
the
movie?
bald, the main Japanese actor who is also the bald man, the
Okay.
one who dies last, he is the last samurai to die. He is the last samurai. He is based on a historical figure.
Okay.
And it was during the, and mind you, it was a conversation about the Meiji era and the modernization of the military and the influx of modern technology into Japan. So for us to really grasp the value of the story, they thought it would be best to create an American character to sort of talk to us as we're going through it.
Vehicle.
Yeah, it's like a plot device.
Ah, okay.
Because 47 Rows is an example without the plot device. And people were just lost.
Okay, yeah, lost. Okay. So, I mean, why do you think people would automatically assume that Tom Cruise was the last samurai if the last samurai is the bald guy that dies at the end or dies last?
Because whoever you're following in our storytelling is, and we learn this when we're learning about storytelling, like in our English literature class and everything else. The character you're following is the protagonist.
Okay.
The villain is the antagonist. Therefore, Tom Cruise being the star, the character we're following, he is the protagonist. That means someone has to be the antagonist, and therefore, if you title the movie The Last Samurai, then it must be about the protagonist. And not what the protagonist is experiencing.
Oh, wow.
And what the protagonist is experiencing is the story of The Last Samurai.
Wow. Okay.
And that's why he survives at the end, to sort of close out the story. Not because he's the last samurai.
Right.
He's not the last samurai. He did not serve the emperor. He was captured by reluctant samurai who felt what they were doing was in the best service of the country and the emperor. Therefore, they died as samurai. And Tom Cruise delivers the final message to the emperor before he goes back to America.
Huh. I liked it. Well, guys, this is definitely what you get when you bring in Justin Ice. You are going to get everything. He'll give you the good, bad, the different. And when he goes ice mode, it identifies as non-binary, and anyone can get these ice
sickles. Did something drop?
Yeah,
you broke something.
Yes,
I keep it chill, baby. That's my ice powers. Yes. I'm sorry. They get out of control.
Cross country. Anyways, guys, we will try to check you out. We will definitely
through the interweb, through the signals.
We'll definitely have to have Mr. Ice on for more segments. In the comments, like this video, share, subscribe, and if there are any topics that you definitely want to hear Mr. Ice and I discuss, please leave that in the comments below. And for now, we are out.